fade in. Interior, concourse, airport terminal. Day. Close on a face, a 9-year-old boy, young Cole, his eyes wide with wonder, watching something intently. We hear the sounds of the PA system, droning flight information mingled with the sounds of urgent shouts, running feet, exclamations. Young Cole's POV. 20 yards away, a blonde man is sprawled on the floor, blood oozing from his gaudy Hawaiian shirt. A brunette in a tight dress, her face obscured from young Cole's view, rushes to the injured man, ministering to his wound. Angle on young Cole, flanked by his parents, their faces out of view as they steer him away. Young Cole resists momentarily, mesmerized by the drama. Young Cole's POV, intermittently visible through a confusion of figures rushing through the foreground, the blonde man reaching up and touching the cheek of the kneeling brunette in a gesture of enormous tenderness, a gesture of farewell, while the PA system continues its monotonous monotone. Cut 2, exterior, overhead view, city, night. We are looking down on a city of the future, where gigantic buildings dwarf the ancient skyscrapers of now, as a huge blimp flashing lights and blaring sound drifts slowly over the tall building. Cut 2, exterior, the blimp. From below, night. As the blimp drifts through the tall buildings, advertisements appear on the curved sides of the dirigible, and an accompanying soundtrack proclaims with AM enthusiasm the virtues of off-world emigration. Exterior, city street, night. Lights from the blimp flash along the street and wipe across the crowds of pedestrians as the voice track continues to blare from above. A portable noodle bar is crowded with customers sitting on stools, slurping their food out of bowls. Deckard is standing near the noodle bar, waiting for a seat. He's in his 30s, wiry, athletic, rumpled, used, unshaven. He's holding a newspaper made of tissue paper, open while he glances at the blimp passing noisily overhead. Then he notices the counterman. The counterman is beckoning to him to a newly vacated seat. Deckard sits down at the noodle bar, and the counterman, an elderly Japanese, slaps a menu in front of him. No words on the menu, just pictures of sliced fish parts. Deckard points to a particular item and holds up 4 fingers. The counterman looks at the item on the menu, confirms the order by holding up 2 fingers. Deckard shakes his head. No, repeats his 4 fingers. The counterman nods, corrected, and hurries off. Deckard glances overhead. The blimp drifts among the buildings like a fish disappearing in seaweed. The noisy voice doing a diminuendo. Whack! The counterman slaps a bowl of rice and a pot of tea in front of Deckard. Then he puts the little bowl with the 2 slices of fish on the counter.
Fishing on R&R. Yes, sir. Hey, if you're feeling fit, you're ready for duty. Yes, General, very much, yes.
The food is being passed around.
Well, let's see what we have here. Roast beef, and usually it's not bad.
You're under arrest, Mr. Deckard.
Try some, Jerry. Pass it around. Over time, they might pass both ways.
He say you brain runner.
Captain, I don't know how you feel about this ship, but if you lead it, you'll never have to prove your courage in any other way.
The colonel, who was not eating with them, walked to the table, holding a small photo.
Captain, you've heard of Colonel Walter E. Kurtz?
He shows the photo to Willard. Insert the photo. It's an 8x10 black and white portrait of an army officer wearing a beret. The colonel accidentally drops the dossier. Papers, photos, etc. scatter all over the floor. He stoops down to pick them up.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
The colonel moves to a tape recorder and turns it on.
October 9, 0430 hours, the computer fixed came. Monitor 11, Cambodia. This has been verified as Colonel Kurtz's voice.
All the men, including Willard, listen in wonder.
Snail. Crawling on the edge. Straight bit of that's my dream. It's my nightmare. Crawling, slipping along the edge of a straight razor and surviving.
Transmission 11, receive 68, December 30, 0500 hours. Sector King, Zulu King.
But when they kill them, they must incinerate them, pig after pig, cow after cow, village after village, army after army. And they call me an assassin. What do you call it when the assassins accuse the assassin? They lie.
The tape is turned off. Exterior, city street, future, moments later, night. A scraping noise as a heavy manhole cover is pushed up and moved aside. Cole's helmeted head emerges from below. Cole's POV through his plastic visored helmet. A city in moonlight, a surreal image of abandoned buildings, no people anywhere. The only sounds are the wind and Cole's breathing. Exterior, another city street, minutes later, night. Cole's light reveals abandoned vine-covered automobiles. Moving to the nearest car, Cole searches in the vines for something. Finds it, an insect. Cole takes the bug in his gloved hand. As he clumsily inserts it into a collection tube, something makes him turn. There's something across the street in the dark, something alive. Cole points his flashlight and reveals a bear. Startled by the light, the animal blinks, then stands on its rear legs and roars. Angle on Cole, staring wide-eyed. Then, the bear sinks down onto all fours, and trying to avoid the flashlight, it pads quickly down the street. Medium shot, schoolyard. A teacher and little girl come out into the courtyard, quickly followed by other students pouring from the schoolhouse in the background. A North Vietnamese soldier runs into the teacher, who then turns back to the children. The soldier waves to the children to get out of the area. Closer on the teacher, gathering children together. Peasants run through as the teacher starts the children running out. One small boy remains, an older girl runs back to get him and run after the others. Soon the village is buzzing with activity. Trenches are used to pass weapons and ammunition. Young VC, both men and women, NVA regulars rush along the trenches to take their positions. New view, NVA and VC rushing along the trenches, taking the camouflage covering off a large automatic anti-aircraft weapon. Exterior, sky, new, gay, moving behind an assault column of helicopters. Interior, command call today. Kilgore monitoring the transmission. Closely on Willard, watching the spectacle. Closely on Kilgore, calm and very effective. Seems almost like an astronaut. Willard looks down as the central Interior, POV behind pilot dead. The helicopter shakes as we see the smoke of the rocket shoot out. Reverse angle, Vietnamese hound goes up in flames. Medium and close, gunship sweeping down, hitting guns firing. PC stacked, interior, command copter dead.
Spotted a large weapon down below. We're gonna go down and check it out.
Cut to interior Taffy's bar moments later. Deckard is at a telephone not far from the bar. He's got the phone hooked between his shoulder and ear while he notes a number. Deckard breaks the connection, then starts punching the numbers. Rachel appears on the telephone vid screen.
Hello?
I've had people walk out on me before, but not when I was being so charming.
Rachel freezes when she sees
I'm in
who
a
it
bar
is.
here now,
Says
down
nothing.
in the fourth sector.
Rachel still says nothing. For a long moment,
Kathy
it
Lewis
seems
is on
Rachel
the
isn't
line.
going
Why
to
don't
say
you come on
anything.
down here and have a drink.
Rachel is bitter.
I don't think so, Mr. Deckard. That's not my kind of place.
Go someplace else.
Cut to. Interior, hospital day room, half an hour later. Day. Cole stands in the doorway, stunned by his first sight of the large room. His eyes go to the heavily grilled windows where light pours in from the outside. Then to the TV, where a cartoon commercial makes raucous noises. Patients in Kmart street clothes or ratty robes stare gloomily at the TV, or play cards, pace, or just stare blank. Billings is at Cole's side, beckoning to a patient, Jeffrey Mason, a 20-year-old white youth dressed in khakis and a plaid shirt.
Do me a favor. Just show them around, tell them the TV rules, show them the games and stuff, okay?
How much you gonna pay me? How much? I'd be doing your job.
$5,000, my man. That enough?
5,000?
I'll wire a check to your account as usual.
$5,000. $5,000.
$5,000.
I'll give him the deluxe mental hospital tour.
As Billings walks away chuckling, Jeffrey turns to Cole.
Good workhouse. You're the prisoners. No, you're the guards.
Now you got it. Now you got it.
Right. Okay. It's all in good fun. All in good.
Cole nods and Jeffrey indicates card tables where patients are playing cards, checking chess, or working on jigsaw puzzles.
Who's in my chair? Games. Here's some games. Games I want to get out. See? More games. Games, they vegetize you. See? Yeah. If you play the games, you're voluntarily taking a tranquilizer.
Cole sees a partially completed puzzle with the well-known painting, The Peaceable Kingdom, depicting a serene world of animals in harmony.
Haldol? How much? Learn your drugs, know your doses. It's elementary.
I need to make a telephone call.
Telephone call. That's communication with the outside world. Doctor's discretion. Hey, if all of these nuts could just make phone calls, it could spread. Insanity oozing through telephone cables, oozing to the ears of all these poor, sane people, infecting them. Wackos everywhere, plague of madness.
Come on, let's go.
In fact, very few of us here are actually mentally ill. I'm not saying you're not mentally ill. For all I know, you're crazy as a loon. But that's not why you're here. That's not why you're here. It's not why you're here. You're here because of the system. There's the television. It's all right there. All right there. Look, listen, kneel, pray. Commercials. Not productive anymore. At least to make things anymore. It's all automated. What are we for then? We're consumers, Jim. Okay. Buy a lot of stuff. You're a good citizen. But if you don't buy a lot of stuff, if you don't, what are you then, I ask you? What? Mentally ill. Back, Jim, back. If you don't buy things, toilet paper, new cars, computerized blenders, electrically operated sexual devices, stereo systems with brain-implanted headphones, screwdrivers, miniature
A
built-in
woman
radar
orderly,
devices,
Terry, turns from the feeble
voice-activated
patient she's
computers.
helping.
Take it easy, Jeffrey. Be calm.
Abruptly, Jeffrey stifles his hysteria, takes a deep breath and continues,
right.
completely calm now. But Cole isn't listening. He's mesmerized by the TV.
So, if you want to watch a particular television program, say, all my children know something, you go to the charge nurse, you tell the day, the time, the show you want to see is on, but you have to tell her before the show is scheduled to be on. There was this guy, and he was always requesting shows that had already played. Yes, no, you have to tell her before. He couldn't quite grasp the idea that the charge nurse couldn't make it be yesterday. He couldn't turn back time, thank you, Einstein. Now he was nuts. He was a fruitcake.
This last thought actually penetrates Cole's focus on the TV, and he turns to Jeffrey, who's picking up speed again.
I warned you.
Right. I got a little carried away, explaining the inner workings of the institution to Jim.
Just then, T.G. Washington, a somber-looking African-American in a bathrobe, taps Cole on the shoulder.
I don't really come from outer space.
Oh, L.J. Washington, he doesn't really come from outer space.
Don't mock me, my friend.
Get out of my chair!
It's a condition of mental divergence. I find myself on the planet Ogo, part of an intellectual elite, preparing to subjugate the barbarian hordes on Pluto. But even though this is a totally convincing reality for me in every way, nevertheless, Ogo is actually a construct of my psyche. I am mentally divergent in that I am escaping certain unnamed realities that plague my life here. When I stop going there, I will be well. Are you also divergent, friend?
The PA system interrupts, startling Cole. Sebastian stares at Batty for a long moment, then at Pris.
Why are you staring at us, Sebastian?
Because you're so different.
Batty nods his head, smiling, sending home the fact that Sebastian is
You're so
certainly getting
perfect.
it. A long pause.
Yes.
Sebastian is grinning from ear to ear.
What generation are you?
Nexus 6.
Sebastian whistles to the couch.
I knew it. Because I do genetic design work for the Terrell Corporation. There's some of me in you.
His voice is trembling.
Show me something.
Like what?
Like a million things, but he's too excited to think of
anything.
one.
We're no computers, Sebastian. We're physical.
Pris perks up proudly.
I think, Sebastian. Therefore I am.
Very good, Pris. Now show me why.
Without a moment's hesitation, Pris walks over to the flask. Sticks her hands into the boiling water and pulls out one of the eggs and hands it to Sebastian. Sebastian is riveted, his eyes wide and astounded, like he's just seen the devil. He laughs nervously, glad that the devil is a friend, then drops the egg, which is suddenly burning his hand.
Similar problems.
Accelerated decrepitude.
I don't know much about biomechanics, Roy. I wish I did.
If we don't find help soon, Pris hasn't got long to live. We can't allow that.
Batty walks back to the chess set.
Is he good?
Who?
Your opponent.
Oh, Dr. Terrell? I've only beaten him once in chess. He's a genius. He designed you.
Maybe he could help.
I'd be happy to mention it to him. Sure.
Better if I talk to him in person. But I understand he's sort of hard man to get to.
Yes.
Batty leans forward and looks right into Sebastian's eyes.
Will you help us?
I can't.
He gets
We
up
need
and
you,
walks slowly
Sebastian.
over to Pris.
You're our best and only friend.
A smile begins to spread across Sebastian's face. She is irresistible. He sits there for a long moment enjoying her embrace. Batty leans back, nodding in gratitude.
We're so happy you found us.
I don't think there's another human being in the whole world who would have helped us.
Pris gives Sebastian a big kiss. Exterior, second Avenue, day. The evangelist, spotting Cole and Rayleigh hurrying past him, points urgently at Cole.
You're one of us!
But Cole has stopped and is staring at a storefront office, its windows covered with posters. The sign over the office says, Freedom for Animals Association.
This is it. Come on.
Interior, FAA store, moments later, day. Earnest young activists, Fail, deathly pale, Ben, long hair, and Teddy, muscular, are gathered around the counter, collating leaflets that demand an end to speciesism. Behind them, a large poster proclaims, Animals have souls too. Just there's a tremendous clap of thunder as the activists look up and see Cole and Rayleigh enter. Cole looks startled. It sounds like torrential rain pouring in here. Maintaining a tight grip on Rayleigh's wrist, he looks around frantically for an explanation for the tropical downpour. Bookshelves line two walls. The front window is blanked out with posters of animal rights demonstrations, newspaper clippings, photos of animal atrocities. The fourth wall features the counter where the three activists face Cole as a jungle bird screams in the downpour. Cole looks confused as the rain abates and an elephant trumpets an urgent warning. Cole's eyes follow her look. It's a tape recorder underneath the sign advertising the true music of the world. Fail glances at Ben and Teddy. We have a problem, the look says. Monkeys start chattering on the tape as Teddy comes around the counter, bigger than Cole, physically imposing, menacing. Cole backs away, a firm grip on Rayleigh as a lion roars. Teddy breaks off mid-sentence, freezes. Cole is pointing a pistol at them. A tiger snarls. Monkeys chatter wildly. Rayleigh hurries to the door. Cole is suddenly very much in charge and self-confident again. A baboon howls with laughter. As Ben says to Fail. Interior, FAA store basement, 20 minutes later, day. The three activists are tied tightly together in the middle of the floor in this dimly lit, windowless basement. They're very frightened, eager to cooperate. Cole, the gun next to him, rummages through boxes of paper while Rayleigh watches helplessly. Suddenly, Cole finds something he thinks he's seen before. He holds it up. It's a photograph of Dr. Malcolm Mason being escorted by a phalanx of riot cops through a mob of raging activists.
Jeffrey started getting bored with the shit we do, you know, picketing, leafletting, letter writing stuff. He said we were ineffectual liberal jerk-offs. He wanted to do guerrilla actions in order to educate the public.
Cole holds up a clipping showing horrified senators standing on their desks as rattlesnakes slither along the Senate floor.
But we weren't into that kind of stuff. It's counterproductive. We told him.
So he and 11 guys, you know, they split up and formed this underground army.
The Army of the 12 Monkeys. I see.